now jumping right in.
Hello, good evening, Las Vegas.
Good evening. We missed you guys yesterday.
We do apologize.
But we're back for another one. And the title of
Yes.
the night is Turning the Negative into a Positive.
Indeed. Turning that negative into a positive.
With all the shit that's going on right now.
And we're talking about from personal life, work, employment,
Losses, gains.
Yes, all of the above.
And there's a lot of shit going on. A lot of times we have to take time to appreciate where we are,
Yes,
and
definitely.
be thankful for, what we have and who we have, because a lot of times, shit happens. Shit can be fucked up.
Period. All the way across the board.
And they get bad. And, everywhere, even just in Las Vegas alone, I could see just a change. It used to be Vegas strong, but I don't know because
There's no but. It's Vegas strong, but it's a lot of weak links. I want to say.
well, I
going
think
on.
the weak link is is the people who we depend on to, make sure shit go the way it's supposed to go.
You
So
might be right with all this
we're letting down a lot of people right now, including our children. So turning a negative into a positive.
And we're talking about. I'm going to say this for itself. My negative to a positive was coming from one state to another. From California to here.
Right.
I was out there. I want to say I was homeless a good 6 months. I moved out of my dad's spot. He wanted to make profit off of it. Can't be mad at that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I also had someone in that home that he just refused. And bottom line, it was just time to go. I had been there almost 3 years. So, anywho, pack everything up, get everything, up out of there. But it's like, where am I going? But I'm thinking as I go. I'm figuring shit out as I go. You know what I mean? Didn't even have a whole plan. It was just time to go. So, anywho, I get everything stored away, get that taken care of. So, my children's father of my last two, was like, hey, folks said you can come over there. Oh, okay.
Right.
That's what's up. Now, mind you, I didn't ask this woman. He did. So, but it was still, we were still pound. So, go over there, therefore, I want to say maybe two months. But altogether, I was homeless 6 months. But then, some issues transpired there. One morning, it was a whole issue. And I don't even know what the issue was.
Right.
I just know I got told, pack your shit, get the fuck on. And me, I'm not asking no questions. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, no argument. I'm not going to give no woman no hard time in her shit. Let me go. So, anywho, in my mind started clicking. Don't know where I'm about to go. But I sat out in the front, for a minute. My truck is packed up or whatever. Sat out for a front like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I sat out there because my Wi-Fi was still hooked up to her shit. So I could, was looking at stuff, whatever, maybe rooms, whatever, so on and so forth. All the rooms is hell of expensive. And it's the weekend. So it's double time.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's out. So, call mom's dad. Hey, can the kids come there? They like, yeah. So the kids is there. But I stayed in the truck. I wasn't even in the house. I just slept in the truck.
Right.
Cause the house, when I say that's the loud house, that's a house nothing but full of kids. You know what I mean? So it's just like it was no need for me to be in there. There was no room.
Right.
Real talk. So, I'm sleeping in the car. But the whole time, you know what I mean? I felt so negative. Everything was just like rah.
Right.
I was upset about the whole situation. It's just like it was one negative thing after another that just kept transpiring. And it's just like, am I going to see the light at the end of the tunnel at some point? This is what I'm telling myself. Sleeping in the car, crying. I put the little blankets up around, roll the windows down and put the blankets up because it's street lights. I'm trying to get some sleep. And I'm little anyways. I'm short, so I stretched out all right in that motherfucker. So, nonetheless, still sitting here, mind clicking, even though this shit's going on.
Right.
So finally, just one night, I felt like I had an epiphany, and I was like, okay, this is what's going to transpire. This is what I'm going to do.
Right.
Me and my kids, we out of here. I was either going to pick between Arizona or Las Vegas. I chose Las Vegas.
Cool.
Which I'm glad I did. I am very glad I did.
And if anybody, want to call in during the show, don't forget the telephone number is 702-605-4836. We love to hear from you.
We would love to hear from you. So, moving forward, I just had an epiphany one night, like, this is what's going to transpire. Didn't have not one thought of where I was going to be, looked into anything. Well, I did, but it was a scam. First coming out here, it was a scam. It was just too good to be. It was actually a scam. But I came out here. I hit up my sis. I asked her, can we be there? She was like, well, do you, you got a place where you're going to be? I have no idea. I'm just winging it. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm solving shit as I go. She was like, all right, cool. I said, give me just a month, please. She's like, all right, no problem. You know what I mean? Man, before that month was up, I found that place. I just went hard every day. But stop, pause, rewind a little bit. On the drive out here, I listened to no music.
Oh, okay.
It was
listen to yourself, huh?
Yes. Yes. I listened to not one bit of music. I literally just enjoyed the scenery coming out and trying to literally categorize things and prioritize things in my mind. Like, okay, I'm coming to a whole new state. You know what I mean? And I'm not new to none of this shit. You know what I mean? So it wasn't too fearful, too scary to me. It's just like, okay, how we gonna do this? What we gonna do?
Right.
You know what I mean? What's gonna be the game plan when you get out there?
And sometimes, sometimes all it takes, first and foremost, we have to stop and step back in order to take a look at the picture. If you want to see the big picture, you have to stop. You have to actually step back a little bit.
Yes.
You can't focus on one speck of the picture. You can't just focus on one situation that's going on.
Yes.
You have to focus on it in a whole. And adjust to what it is, that you have. And you have to do this quickly. You can't, you don't have time to, dwell on what's holding you back or what you've lost. We replace so many things in life, and a lot of times, we dwell on a shit that we had to replace because we didn't want to replace it, but at the same time, we have to understand that sometimes shit is moved out of our life so it makes room for growth.
Indeed.
You see what I'm saying?
I definitely understand that.
Because in my situation, it's like I was working for the bank for close to 13 years, you know. And, well, for this particular bank, the last bank I worked for, you know, I worked for them for going on 3 years. So, you know, when I lost my job with them, I was like kind of fucked up. And it was like a bunch of like stupid shit that took place, that the reason that I lost the job. It was a good job, 401k, you know, I made good money.
Righteous.
You know,
Righteous.
I had nothing to worry about. You know, everything was good.
Right.
But, you know, I got too comfortable. Shit was too good. You know? So I'm just kicking it. Kicking it every weekend, to the point to where I'm damn near kicking it every night. You know, just out partying all night and then trying to get up and go to work, and I work 10-hour shifts. So the way my shift was, it was like from 4:50 in the morning to 9:50 in the morning, and then I went back from 4 to 9 in the evening.
Right.
So, you know, everything good. So it was a little bar down the street I used to go to, down the street from my house. You know, sometimes if the kids was at the house, and, you know, I'll just go to the little bar down the street and have a couple of cocktails and play pool. And it was this guy that used to always be in there. You know, cool guy. You know, he was a game developer.
Right.
For this company.
Okay.
And, you know, nice guy, you know, and he just so happened we always played pool together. So, you know, he asked me out, you know, I agreed. And one night, you know, the night that he was supposed to come get me, it just so happened that, you know, his office was throwing an office party.
Okay.
So I'm like, this guy, you know, he didn't act out of the ordinary or nothing like that, but he did come like 2 hours late. So I really didn't even want to go on the date, but I'm like, you know what, we can just go have a quick drink real quick.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, since he still showed up.
Fair enough.
So we went up the street. We didn't go to the bar that we normally go to, but we went up to the street to another bar that was up towards the other way. So, you know, I had a cocktail, you know, he had a beer, and I ordered another cocktail. He ordered another beer, and I drank the cocktail, and then, you know, he offered to go smoke some weed. So I'm like, hell yeah, you know.
Of course.
So
I like the herb.
we pull out. Now, mind you, I ain't thinking nothing of it because, you know, he wasn't acting no different from, you know, anytime I seen him before. You know, he wasn't driving crazy or nothing, but, you know, as we pull out, I'm like, let me put my seatbelt on, you know.
Right.
He had one of those little 2-seater sports cars,
Okay.
you know, nice car, whatever. But it was a Nissan. The Nissan 320 something like that. But anyway,